Hello to one and all present here. I am Vaishnavi from class 8th. As you all know that we have finished the previous chapter of history, Revolt of 1857. So today I have thought to start the new chapter that is Judiciary of Civics. That is of class 8 obvious. So we are going to see that what we will learn in this chapter with the overview of this chapter. So first we'll understand that what is judiciary, then the functions of judiciary, need for the independent and impartial judiciary, the structure of courts in India that are Supreme Court, High Court, and subordinate courts. So, starting with what is judiciary? I hope you all remember that we have learned in class 8, 7th, that there are three organs of government that are legislative, executive, and judiciary. Legislative is the one who makes the laws, executive, who carries out the laws or executes the laws, and judiciary, which evaluates the laws, means takes care that the organ of government which administers justice and awards punishments to those who breaks the laws. In India, the judiciary functions independently, and there are the two organs of the government to also function independently. So let us discuss that what are the functions of judiciary. Well, judiciary is that organ of government which administers justice, awards punishment to those who breaks the laws, settles disputes at different levels. Well, what do I mean by different levels? Different levels mean disputes regarding the citizens, between the citizens, and at different levels means central and state government too. Next is that it protects rights of citizens like the fundamental rights and their duties, issues writs, formal written orders to the organ of government, and it can also declare a law unconstitutional that is passed by the central or state government. If it thinks that the law is not in conformity with the constitution, then only it can declare the law unconstitutional. Now let us discuss that what is the need for the independent and impartial judiciary. Well, the first thing is that to protect safeguards rights of the individual. It safeguards the right of the individual, means the fundamental rights are protected by this. To protect and ensure a citizen's rights, it is necessary that the courts perform function well and the judges who are meant to impart justice are independent and impartial. And I hope you all would know that if the judiciary would not be impartial or independent, then corruption would take place. They must also feel secure and fully protected regarding their life and service conditions and terms. To ensure the independence of judiciary, the Indian Constitution advocates separation of powers and between the organs of government like the legislative, executive and judiciary as I told before. Second point is that it settles disputes in accordance with the law. Third point is that it ensures that democracy does not give way to individual or group dictatorship. The fourth point is in order to be able to do all this, it is necessary that the judiciary is independent of any political pressures. Means if the political pressure would be applied on judiciary, it would not function independently. Let us see the structure of courts with a pyramid. Well, what do we understand by a pyramid? At the top, there is Supreme Court, means it is the highest court of India. Now, mind my language that it is the highest court of India. That means that it is not the highest court of a state or a region, and it is asked in the exams too, and it was asked in my exam too. So let us understand with the first court of India, that is Supreme Court. Well, there are the highest court in India. It is the highest court in India and it is located in Delhi, in New Delhi. And it is the apex court. Apex, as I told, is the highest court. And according to the Indian Constitution, the Supreme Court is the guardian of our constitution. All courts in India function under the direction and control of Supreme Court of India. If a citizen is not satisfied with the judgment of lower court, he or she can appeal in the higher court. And if they are not satisfied with the appeal of higher court, they can appeal in the Supreme Court, that is headed by the CJI of India, that is Chief Justice of India, that comprises total 33 other judges too. The President of India appoints the judges. Power. Let us understand the power of the Supreme Court. That is original, appellate, advisory, jurisdiction. Well, as I told you that it is the guardian of constitution, so I've already explained that. And the judges retire at age of 65 years. The President of India appoints the judges on the advice of Council of Ministers and the sitting judges of Supreme Court. Let us understand the last topic of the Supreme Court, that is jurisdiction of Supreme Court or the power of Supreme Court. The term jurisdiction refers to the domain of responsibility of a legal body that has the authority to make legal decisions. So Supreme Court is a jurisdiction because it has the responsibility of being a legal body and it has the authority to make legal decisions too. So let us first understand the original jurisdiction. What do we understand by original jurisdiction? Well, these are the cases which are heard only in the Supreme Court. That includes disputes involving the union and the state's government, disputes involving the violation of fundamental rights. Well, these two are the topics that are contained in the original jurisdiction. And the appellate jurisdiction, the Supreme Court can issue verdicts on the appeals filed by the judgments of high courts. As I told you before, that if a citizen is not satisfied with the judgment of a lower court or the higher court, they can appeal in the Supreme Court. That is only told in the appellate jurisdiction, that Supreme Court can issue verdicts or opinions on the appeals of these lower courts. And it has the duty to review the judgments of High Court and give its own decision on such judgments. Let us understand the advisory jurisdiction. It is very simple. The Supreme Court has the power to interpret the constitutional, as I told, that it's the guardian of constitution. So Supreme Court can also interpret the constitution and make its own laws. So the President of India may ask the Supreme Court for the advice for various constitutional matters. This is known as the advisory jurisdiction of Supreme Court. This was all about this video, and we have completed the Supreme Court part in the structure of courts. In the next video, we are going to continue with the high courts and the subordinate courts. Till then, bye.